Right then, I'm going to be blunt today as always, and thanks for watching. There's just some places, some markets on eBay that forget it. They are absolutely saturated and they are so dominated by the big players, and they got so you're making nothing, you're making pence if that it's just basically impossible for the average person to actually get in and sell. So if you've been banging your head against the brick wall thinking, wow, I'm wondering why I'm not selling any of this stuff, it might not be you. It actually might be the market that you've chosen. And that's important. So today, what I'm going to do is, with my little knowledge, is tell you which markets on eBay that you should totally avoid completely. I don't sell in them. I have refused to sell in them, and I'll never get into them. And actually, if you want to make some money, I'm going to go through a few ideas and tell you what are the best markets that I think you can make good money on eBay. Stay tuned. So why are some markets just bloody impossible? Well, first of all, you're competing with absolutely huge automated sellers. Some categories are run by massive companies with warehouses, with buying power, with automated pricing, which is a good one. They adapt their prices without you having to go through them like we do. And the postage, well, you just cannot compete with the postage rates. You look at it, you just cannot compete with the bulk postage rates they've got from the likes of Temu, from the likes of Royal Mail, and all these people. You just cannot compete with that postage rate they've got. Now, they undercut you instantly. You just cannot compete with them. They ship faster because they've got a whole team shipping, and they've got thousands and thousands and thousands of feedback and an already established customer base. And you can't outmuscle them. You cannot, without a lot of money, a lot of time, and get into that sort of same scale. And I think those markets you shouldn't even try. I'm thinking the likes of anything that you can buy from AliExpress and try and flip, because those sellers are already selling it on eBay. If you look at the domination in the book market and the price that they are selling them, I'm not saying specialist books, quality, and I'll come on to that later on in the video. It's what's up here that counts. And there's a certain age group that's doing very well on eBay because they have got what's up here, decades worth of knowledge. So some areas don't even attempt to get into them. And even worse, some categories, the margins are absolutely microscopic paper thin. I'm not even talking pounds, I am talking pence. And for that, by the time you've paid your fees, eBay have took the money out of for the postage their slice, and you've had to charge and pay the real postage for the courier. You're working for free. And that is not what we're here to do. So some of them, it's just no profit in it whatsoever. Once you do the mathematics, what seemed to be that great idea, that trend, that market that you can get a lot of stuff, sell it. If you are not doing the Poundland, and Poundland's a bad example because they're not doing too well at the moment, but if you are not doing the old quick save, if you can remember it, stack it high, sell it cheap model, and you've got the logistics and all the stuff behind it, you're just going to make nothing. So why even bother? And I would say stay clear of that. Now, again, there are some categories that counterfeits, they ruin the whole category. And there are some markets, especially very branded ones, are flooded with fakes. And that kills trust, and it also kills the prices, because you might have that branded item and it is 100% verified, but not everybody's going to want that item. And they might not be using eBay as their chosen platform to buy it from, but because the fakes are actually dragging the quality products down. And even the legitimate sellers are having problems on eBay because of this flood of fakes. We know we've got the authenticity guarantee scheme, we know we've got all that, but it happens. It's not 100% monitored, 100% accurate all of the time. So flakes even, Cadbury's flakes, oh, think of a 99. They are killing some categories. So steer clear of them, because it's affecting your genuine product. And if you want to make money and you want to sell it fast and you want that customer confidence and you want to get repeat business, I personally stay away from those high branded items that can easily be substituted with fakes, because it's a market that is it's like swimming with sharks. Now, selling the same thing as everybody else. If you can buy it from AliExpress, Temu, Alibaba, Shine, guess what? They can also sell it on eBay, and they are selling it on eBay, and everybody else can buy it and sell it on eBay. You are competing in a market that is absolutely, well, oversaturated, so forget it. These markets are basically, in my opinion, a no-go area for small sellers. Leave a comment below if you think I've got that totally wrong. So straight away, here's the big list. This is what I would not recommend going into in any way, shape or form. Number one, phone accessories, cases, cables, screen protectors, all that, forget it. Margins are pennies. Competition is insane. And the big sellers, they dominate it, so forget that. Generic homeware that you get from China. So the TikTok trend, items, LED lights, organization bits, shelf stackers, all that, it's all saturated and you can get it again for peanuts. You're not going to be able to compete. Modern clothing brands, fast fashion reselling. Well, no chance. Every seller lists the same items. Unless it's a niche, unless it's a brand, unless it's something somebody wants, you're just going to be competing with the same pairs of socks, the same pairs of pants, the same pairs of woolly jumpers. These don't come in pairs, but hey, same pair of gloves. Beauty, makeup, and cosmetics, I would stay clear from as well, because there are too many fakes that have flooded the market. And it's impossible to compete. And there are very, 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 very strict rules on that. And a lot of people, things like you can't post certain items, you can't do this, you can't do that. They brand protect. You've got to have a license to sell it. Modern electronics now, you can't compete with a $9.99 toaster. You can't compete with all those suppliers that have got access to the official supply chains, or they are bringing in container loads of those electronics, those modern electronics, to try and to flood the market with USB speakers, lights, LED lights, all these sort of things, toasters, sandwich makers, kettles. You just simply will not beat them on price. And trust, there's a lot of people buy the same thing from the same people. And then this one is quite weird to say this in. And again, trending items. Unless you are setting the trend, and I've got the social media to set it, and you just happen to have thousands of them, by the time you've got hold of them, the trend's gone, the bubble's burst, and everybody else has saturated the market. That, to me, is a key lesson to learn, or I've learned. If you are too late to the party, you are going to be left with a lot of worthless stuff. Well, a lot of you, hopefully, if you followed the chapters below, you jump straight to this one. This is what I would recommend for 2026, or from now, or for if you're going to start out, if you're going to do it, if you're going to sell, get into these areas, because this is, I think, the good areas. Right. Vintage tools and hand tools. Yeah. There's not enough sellers of those, and buyers pay good money for them. And older guys, older men, they like to buy them and they know what they're doing. So you've got a market, and the margins are very good on those. So if you are in that market, and I've just told everybody, you're probably not going to be happy with me now. Old electronics, and I mean old electronics, pre-2005, VCRs, camcorders, hi-fi equipment, tape decks, they're selling like mad at the moment. Parts only is big money, because a lot of people have already got them. And that's the one thing I've had a whole video on this. The sum of the parts is greater than the whole. A lot of people have already got them. You can make good money on that. Betamax videos, VHS videos, players, all the components, hi-fi, radios, quality equipment, old stuff that was built back then that is built to last. So 25 years on, they need the parts. That's a good market to get into. Car parts, again, I don't just mean the imported, flooded from China. I mean massively undersold vintage car parts, if you can get hold of them. Anything from classic cars, discounted or even discontinued models. Those car parts that nobody wants to stock anymore, nobody does. People want to keep them on the ground. They'll pay good money for it. It is gold. Unusual vehicles is gold money. Collectibles, massive. It can cover everything. Cards, toys, figures, comics, sports memorabilia. Low competition, high demand. And I mean the collectible side of it. I don't mean the latest and greatest Phantasmal Flame poker cards where there's millions of them or hundreds of thousands of them about, and everybody's just after one or two or three cards. I mean, the old ones. You could have a set back of Pokemon cards that come from a car boot, come from your loft, that were 1990 issue. You're going to be hitting the gold. And that is the same with everything else that's collectibles, comics, sports memorabilia. The good ones, not the mainstream ones. Niche hobbies. You see a lot of this. You see a lot of this on YouTube. So wood turning tools, fishing gear, model trains, photography equipment. We have just sold an absolute shed load of developing photography equipment that came in. The frames, the trays, the old paper, all that sort of stuff. Great hobbies. And if you are passionate about it and you know about the subject, that will come through on your listings and you will be able to sell. Genuine vintage clothing. I don't mean the modern fashion. I don't mean anything that's been, or the rebrands, or the retro release, the New Balance re-release, the Nike Old School, the Adidas re-release, the original 90s, 80s retro designer and old sportswear. That's a ticket because people want that. And this is quite a weird one as well. Industrial, mechanical, odd items. If it's quirky, if it's odd, if it's old gauges, if it's old switches, if it's old brackets, industrial parts, anything like that, I don't know, weird cables, there's no competition for them. You might not sell 5,000 of them, or you won't sell 5,000, but there'll be somebody looking for one or somebody looking for two. And the profit on that is a lot better. So the weird and the wonderful. What you should do instead, right, stop trying to compete with all these large multinational big companies, big warehouses, big players. You don't have the warehouses. I don't have the staff. I don't have the warehouses or even their postage rules or rates. What I would do and what I am doing is looking at life experience, niche knowledge, access that you can get to older items, not new mass-produced items. The ability that you've got yourself to spot quality. Quality will always sell. Go into your loft, into your garage, into the shed. Find that old stuff that you're not using. Go in friends, family. Go to car boot sales. Go to local charity shops. Don't just try and get the stuff that you think's on trend at the moment. Find the quirky stuff. This is where, as a small seller, you can win. Go and get into those markets where knowledge, and this is what it's all about, where knowledge beats the money, not the other way around, not where the money beats the knowledge, because that's not what people are going to pay for now, and you can't compete on that. Get good money for what you know, what you're passionate about, and what's going to sell and make you a good profit. I can say is I've stopped wasting my time, so I recommend you stop wasting your time to try and sell the same items as everybody else, because it is a race to the bottom. It is a mass-produced competition. Leave the saturated markets behind and get into categories where you can actually compete. Don't set yourself up to fail straight away. If you can't compete in that category, I just look at it and say, oh, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to win, so I'm not going to bother. It's not the taking part that matters in this. It's making the money and the winning that matters. Get actual profits from the items. And more importantly, if you can enjoy what you're selling, that is going to have, it's going to totally transform your own mindset. So if you have found this video helpful, make sure you like the video, subscribe. Hey, that's great. For more eBay tips, drop a comment telling you what you think of the marketplace at the moment, what you're having success with, what you're not having success with, and if you disagree or agree with anything. So thank you all and see you in the next one.